New Thought Media Network. We are a global broadcast network of positive music, media, and entertainment, inspiring humanity's evolution along the journey of enlightenment and creating a world of love, peace, empowerment, and prosperity for all. New Thought Media Network. Positively inspiring.
Free my mind, open my heart with the whispers of truth. To live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge. On the growing edge.
And now, here's Allie.
Hello and welcome to Growing Edge Live. Today I have a special episode and it is Vision Quest 2026. So this is a little different than my usual podcast. Usually I have conversations with soul-centered individuals that channel their time, their talent, their energy, their resources into doing good work in the world. And today I am doing a visioning. And so I've invited some of my friends, some of my clients, and opened this up to this broader audience of my podcast viewers. And for some of you, you'll notice I'm in a different location. I'm here at my timeshare in St. George in southern Utah. And I just heard my furnace go on, so I don't know if that's making too much background noise. I hope not. My producer is nodding, yes it is. And we'll just let that go for now because it will go off. So I'm so glad that you're here. Happy New Year. And we're going to deep dive into not only doing a visioning process, but I'm going to share a little bit about where we are right now, where I am as someone that's very interested in my own development and living a life by design rather than default. I'm going to share with you some of the wisdom that I've gained over the past year, well, past decades, but especially over this last year. I feel like there's been significant shifts and changes. And what's going on in our world, in this country, in the United States, can feel a little disorienting. And so my main calling or purpose is to support individuals, as well as myself, to wake up, to have a deeper relationship with self, with essence, and to live a more peaceful, centered, prosperous, creative life. And so that's what we're here today for, and I'm really glad, whether you're watching this live or you're watching this as a replay, I'm really glad that you have taken time, prioritized time for yourself to do some inner work. Because as we know, it all starts within us. We change the outer world, the phenomenal world, our experience, by first giving some time and consideration and attention and nurturance to our inner life, to our energy, to the quality of our thoughts. And so we begin inside. We begin inside ourselves. And I always feel that starting in an atmosphere of gratitude is the best environment to grow a new vision, is in the energy of gratitude. And I think it was the Dalai Lama that said something to the effect of his only prayer was thank you, gratitude, or his the most powerful prayer is to be in that energy of gratitude. And I think we get off that track. We get distracted because the bias for us humans tends to be to notice what's missing, what problems there are, what we wish wasn't happening, or what we wish we had that we don't have. And so in that field, or that energy of there's something wrong or there's something missing, which that's what our mind seems to have the propensity towards reminding us of. And so when we slow down, when we tune in to ourselves, when we become present and tune out the outer world, meditation or mindfulness, and we simply start in gratitude, counting our blessings, that is a very, it's a high frequency energy for manifesting, for stopping that busy monkey mind from its incessant taking in the phenomenal world and having some kind of judgment or opinion. And it stops that, and we simply come back to our essential self, that part of us that is always here, always present, that part of us that has never been discontent, that part of us that has never been in real pain. There's a part of us that is whole, complete, and perfect. And so meditation, visioning, prayer, these spiritual technologies, these practices are to help us come back to our true self. And this true self energy or dimension is the one that is most available, is not the right word. That's the energy or the space or the consciousness that we want to get into, so that we can speak the language that the universe understands. We live in this quantum soup, and we live in a very responsive experience dimension. And when we tune out from the phenomenal world and we tune into this quantum field, this inner world, it then starts to become our outer world, where we realize that what we're looking for, we're looking with. And we develop the consciousness, we develop the eyes, we develop our receptive nature, so that we can tune in more clearly to see that whatever is arising in our world, whatever that is actually for us. It's happening, and it's a match to where we are in consciousness. Sometimes that's hard to hear or hard to experience, but we're always being presented with the right and perfect opportunity for us to take the next evolutionary step on our path. And so if we're experiencing a challenge, a struggle, there's that part of us, our essential self, that knows this is for me. This isn't something I need to avoid. This isn't something I need to feel victimized by. This is an opportunity for my growth. This is an opportunity for me to shift, to come into alignment with who my soul, my essential self, really wants me to be. And so we've got these two parts of us, and it can be very challenging. We've got our phenomenal physical self, and we've got this personality that we've developed over the course of time, over our lifetime, and maybe even beyond, who knows. And then we have this deeper self, this essential self. And I believe that our path here as humans is to merge these two dimensions or aspects of our being, our personality with our essence, so that we can work together. We can be in congruence. Many of the spiritual teachings over the years have sort of downplayed the importance of the ego or the personality and want to get rid of that, or help us to disregard that part of us. And I think that's a missed opportunity. I think it is what causes us a lot of struggle and suffering when we don't tend to those parts of us that are sad, angry, anxious, fearful. Those parts of us are to be welcomed in, to be brought to center so that they can be heard and seen and begin to calm down. So we have these emotions, these feelings of fear, anxiety, sadness, anger. And when we suppress them or repress them, we then, it sort of has the opposite effect of what our mind tells us. Because our mind often says, oh, don't be angry, don't be sad, don't be anxious, get over that. But really, in a more productive, more effective, more evolutionary way, if we can allow that voice of anger or fear or sadness to have some time to not be wronged or made to feel shame or guilt, but to simply be held in a place of peace and compassion, then that suppressed, repressed energy that's been so uncomfortable for us to really take a look at, it changes. I can't say exactly what it changes into, because for each of us it's different. So I would imagine that something has come up for you as I've been talking about this. Maybe you have sadness or something that you're angry or resentful or bitter about that happened in the past, or something that didn't happen that you wish would have happened, something you feel you missed out on. That energy that's associated with those memories, conscious or unconscious, is a factor in our ability to manifest, to create, to access our creative powers. And so that's what we need to understand before we get to the visioning, before we get to the actual practice of visioning. It's to understand that everything is energy, everything is information. And whilst we're in this flesh suit, we have a mind and a heart and instinct or our intuition, our gut sense. We have these three centers of intelligence to help us navigate this third dimensional reality, which is very helpful. And so we also, on a soul level, on the quantum level, on the higher self level, we have not only access to the local mind, but the non-local mind, the divine mind, the mind of God. So and I'll take you through a process to understand and really feel the difference between being in your local mind and then kind of erasing the walls and merging with the greater mind, the realm of infinite possibilities and potentialities, so that you can see the difference and move more easily through that local mind, greater mind, non-local mind. And then the same with the heart. We have this physical heart center where we feel our feelings, where we have a sense of what we like and what we don't like, and we have a sense of what we want to do in the future and what we don't want to do in the future. So our longings and desires live in our heart, and the love that we have or the dislike we have for people, and that's a very human quality. And so just bringing awareness to this, so it doesn't overtake you. It becomes, oh, this is a part of me. I have feelings, negative or positive, about just about everything, really. It's to understand you're more than that. You're more than your thoughts, you're more than your feelings. But you are that which has thoughts, you're that which has feelings. And then the heart, there's the local heart, then there's the greater heart, the agape love, the unconditional love, the expanded field of love. And so in order to do the visioning and to be an effective creator, there's wisdom in understanding the difference between your ego's preferences, likes and desires and longings, and then your soul's desires. And so we're going to expand and move across the boundaries, sort of blur the edges of our local hearts into the greater heart, the heart of the universe, unconditional love. And then the same with the gut or the belly center, this intelligence center that we have within our bodies. It's instinct, it's intuition, it's a way of, when you walk in a room and you have a feeling like something's not right here. We all have, if we've developed this sense or this quality, we have the ability to use this inner gut sense, knowing instinct to help us navigate this world. In the animal kingdom, and we are animals too, but in the wild animal kingdom, and we're pretty wild too sometimes, but you know what I mean. In the animal kingdom, the animals have a greater sense, instinctual sense. They can sense fear, they can sense danger, they can sense other animals, other places, energy. And so they are very reactive to that. Well, we have that ability, but because we've developed our brains and our intellect to such a high degree, we don't rely on that instinct as much. Well, we can develop and deepen that so that we can be more present, have more presence, bring our essence into our physicality. And so that's something that is very important as we start to intentionally create our reality or cast a vision or visualize our future. It's that ability to manage our own energy, to be fully present, and to not be in a reactive stance, but be in a responsive place where we can bring our intellect and our heart, our mind and our heart into our responses. So this is about waking up. This is about coming home to yourself, understanding your energy so that you can live more authentically, live in alignment with who it is you really want to be inside in your soul. Maybe even who it is you came here to be before all of the conditioning and the programming took place and sort of covered up a direct access to that essential self. There's this deep knowing who we are. And so this process is about tuning into that ancient wisdom within you that can come more alive, come on board, come online, more on demand and more frequently as you go about 2026. It's about being present. It's about being available. It's about being in congruence. Thoughts, feelings, emotions in alignment with your actions. And so it's really how to be an awake, alive, pleasant, joyful, attentive, kind, loving human. And I think that's what we all want. And so as I'm sharing this, I ask you to consider, who is it that you really want to be? Because casting a vision for 2026 isn't so much about making a list of all your goals or identifying all the things you want to achieve. Now, those things might happen, but before we achieve our goals or decide what it is we really want, the first step is sovereignty, is inhabiting our soulful self, our higher self, our essence. And sovereignty is when we have power over that, who we are, what our energy is, how we respond, what we give our energy and attention to. This is all up to us, each of us individually, because we are the ones that create our life. We are co-creators with the invisible, with God, with the universe, with higher intelligence, whatever you call it. We co-create with this invisible energy that we can tap into and harness, and it is accessed within by being quiet in the mind, open in the heart, and profoundly present. And we're so conditioned to rush, to achieve, to get our needs met, to avoid danger. And for many of us, this frantic way of organizing our energy and our attention has overtaken our life. And so today, I'm here to remind you that you can take your life back. If you've given your power away to goals, to other people's dreams and ideas or expectations of you, if you've given that away, then maybe it's time to start to look at that and to reassess what it is you're actually doing with your life, what you're willing to let go of. Maybe there's some habits, some qualities, some tendencies that you've developed consciously or unconsciously that have kept you in patterns or cycles or relationships with others that aren't really helpful, that maybe are even self-sabotaging. And today, we can clear that like wipe the whiteboard. We can clear the lens. We can reestablish who we want to be and how we want to be. So not only do we have this sense of sovereignty and agency over our life, our attention, our power, but we have a deeper sense of authenticity, of peace, of joy, and love. And so really, the reason that you're here or you're watching this is because you're falling in love with yourself. You're falling in love with your co-creative abilities and capacities, and you're willing to move forward in a more intentional, deliberate, powerful way. And this is going to bring you so much more of a feeling of connection to the people in your life. Real, authentic connection. Because we can get used to wearing many masks, especially if we're prone to enabling, people-pleasing, codependency, trying to impress other people, trying to find our worth through the work we do or the good deeds we do. We can get lost in that programming, and it can be very subtle. It can be very, it can become autopilot. We can move into these patterns and cycles very easily. And before we know it, we're upset again. We're discontent. We're feeling taken advantage of. We're feeling overextended. We get into these patterns and cycles and habits, and then who pays the price? We do. We have depleted energy. We have anxiety, frustration, resentment, and the list can go on. And so today, I'm going to lead us through a visioning, and we'll take a break in a couple of minutes, and you can go get a drink or bio break, and then be quick though, because we'll come back in just about 3 minutes, and we will jump into doing the visioning. And then at 11 o'clock Mountain Time, at the top of the hour, we will leave this podcast, this episode, and you can see the Zoom link there on the screen. And if you're watching this on Facebook or on YouTube, you can also see the link not only to the Zoom room where we'll have discussion, questions and answers. We'll have an opportunity to share if we want to, and then also I've gifted you a workbook, and the link for that, it's a Google Doc. And if you want to email me at growingedgelive@gmail.com, I will send you a copy of that workbook so that you can track what comes up during the next 30 minutes of visioning. We're also going to go a little bit deeper in the Zoom following this. And I'll share more about this then, about creating your 2026 mantra. And this is a very, very powerful process, and it's a very powerful thing to have, your mantra for 2026, that's going to bring you exquisitely into your essential self, into your center, so that you can create from that space, so that you can communicate very clearly with the field, with the quantum field. Speak the language that the universe understands, and that language is energy. So your mantra gets you to that place, to that energy that centers you right in your vision. So we're going to take a short break. So bio break, go get a drink, and I'll see you back here in 3 minutes, and we'll do our visioning. So get a piece of paper, get your computer so you can take some notes, and I'll see you then.
Please help us say thank you to all of our organizational sponsors, including the Hepperlin Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Center for Spiritual Living United Life, Sunshine Cathedral, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Universal Joy Center, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Home Center for Spiritual Living, thesatyacenter, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. On behalf of New Thought Media Network, thank you, and please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, come be you.
Free my mind, open my heart with the whispers of truth. To live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge. On the growing edge.
And now, here's Allie.
And we are back. So we are going to go on a journey. We're going to do a visioning, and you can take notes as you go, or you can go through the whole thing and then take notes afterwards, whatever is more powerful for you. And so let us begin. And I invite you to become settled and centered and take a few deep cleansing breaths. As you turn your attention inward, turning within, inside and down, going deep down inside yourself, all the way down into your belly center. This center of intelligence that is deeply connected to your physicality, your instincts. And as you feel how it feels to be inside this body, how it feels to be inside your body, inside your life. And do a little check-in. Do a little check-in to see what parts of your body are holding energy. Where is your attention drawn to inside yourself? And if there's any aches or pains or discomfort, just gently send some loving, positive energy, soothing, healing energy to that location. And now having a sense of being completely supported by the surface that you're on. And as you breathe and deepen and relax a bit more, letting go of any tension and simply arriving in your heart center, arriving right at the center of your soul. And in this space, activate love. Have a sense of being absolutely loved, unconditionally loved. And maybe you felt this from a grandparent or a loved one, a family member, a friend, a spouse, a partner. You felt that unconditional love that says, I love you no matter what. Nothing can interrupt my love for you. And as you recollect that love, as you feel that love inside your body now, connected to that memory, but even more importantly, unconditional love is available right now. It is what your soul is. Your soul is an unconditionally loving dimension of you that is accessed by simply acknowledging it. So acknowledge that dimension of unconditional love right now, because that field of love is where a vision is born. Unconditional love expanding and expanding. And imagine the entire room, the space that you're in, is a field of unconditional love, vibrant and rich for a vision to be born. And so I ask that you go back in time, that you review your life up until this point, from birth till now, and think of the times that you felt the most alive, the most joyous, the most loving, the most creative. And maybe there was a handful, maybe there's so many handfuls of memories, of moments, of times where you felt on top of the world, where you were engaged and your heart was open and you felt the beauty and the bliss and the awe that life is. And I want you to notice, remember how you felt. What are some words that best describe that feeling of aliveness? And take note of those. Take note of those words, those feeling words that describe how it feels when you are completely present, available, alive, happy, loving, and jot those down. And now we're coming from the past into the present. In this moment, I want you to anchor those feelings, knowing that you have agency to bring forth from past, future, or now, any feeling you want, any memory, any vision, any dream. You are the dream caster. You are the dream maker. You are the one that brings what's invisible, what's in your heart, what's in your mind. You are the one that gets to bring that alive and call it into the now and inhabit that joy, that peace, that freedom. Take a breath, and in this high frequency of unconditional love and gratitude for all of the past blessings that you've received, I ask this question for you to consider. What wants to be born, birthed, come into time and space for me today? In terms of a vision, a dream, an idea, what is it that is seeking to be known, experienced, and felt by you right now? If you could imagine yourself at some point in the future, a week, a month, a year, doesn't matter, visualize yourself, envision yourself living your dream as if it's happening right now. And be that person. Be the person you want to be, the loving, kind, generous, creative, innovative, passionate, active, healthy, strong, vibrant person. Be that person now in your mind's eye. Visualize that man, that woman. Zip yourself up in the skin of that person, that being, that energy, and feel what it feels like to be living from that reality. What kind of conversations would you have? What are the quality of your thoughts? What kind of activities do you go about? What are the things that add beauty and dimension and nuance and meaning to your life? Envision it now. Be that person now. Feel it, see it, know it. And ask yourself in this awakened alive space, who am I becoming? What wants to be expressed by means of me? What is my soul wanting to express through this physical body, through this personality? What is seeking to emerge? Who would I be if I let all of those past hurts go? Who would I be if I let all of those excuses, those worn out excuses, those reasons that have kept me held back, playing small, playing in fear or uncertainty or sadness or victim consciousness? Who would I be without those stories? Who would I be beyond those reasons, those excuses, if I gave myself permission to live this expanded version of me? Picture it, visualize it, see it. You are the dreamer that dreams the dreams that creates reality. You are the dreamer that dreams the dreams that creates your reality. You are the thinker that thinks the thoughts that creates your experience. Who will you need to be in order to live this expanded vision and version of yourself? Who do you need to be? What new skills and abilities do you need to bring on board? What do you need to learn? What skills need to be honed? What new strategies need to be in place in order for you to settle into this larger, more real, more grounded, more awakened self? What do you need to embrace? Ask yourself, what do I need to embrace in order to live this vision out loud? And what do I need to let go of? What do I need to let go of in order to live this vision out loud? What's keeping me stuck? What's holding me back? What am I tired of holding on to or dragging into my now moment or into my future? What is wanting to be let go? Maybe it's a habit. Maybe it's a way of thinking. Maybe it's a relationship. Something that keeps you stuck in an old version of yourself that you've outgrown. Because we're here at the very leading edge of our own becoming. We're here manifesting, creating tomorrow and the next day and the next day. We are developing the consciousness for who we're becoming. Everything starts inside, within, in consciousness. We cannot have what we're not willing to become in consciousness. So letting go, releasing, forgiving, all of that is clearing out of your consciousness those things that keep us anchored into patterns and cycles of struggle and discontent. It's time to let them go. It's time to release. Bless them, release them. You've learned what you needed to learn. You've grown as much as you need to, having that experience. It's time to step out and step up. And now ask yourself, your soulful, sacred, essential self, what else? Ask your guides, your angels, your teachers, your ancestors, what do I need to know? What wisdom will carry me forward into the next chapter? What will help me bridge this moment with my vision and dream for 2026 and beyond? What else? What do I need to know? What does my heart want me to know? What does God want me to know? What does my true self want me to know? Listen. Listen as if the universe is about to answer that question. Lean in and listen. Become receptive, allowing, open to hear, to feel, to know, to shift, to heal, to release, to expand, to elevate, to go further forward into joy and beauty and love, peace, further than you've ever been before. Now is the time. Is there anything else? And now we move into gratitude. We move deep into appreciation, gratitude, thanksgiving, counting all of the blessings that this visioning offered, acknowledging each as a gift that you've received. And you know what it feels like to receive. And when we can maintain that feeling every day, that feeling that we've received another day, we've received opportunities to connect, to create, to give. When we can constantly be in that receptive, open, loving space of gratitude, the universe responds to this. Just as the universe responds to love, the universe responds to gratitude and appreciation. You can feel it in your heart. Receive this gift of an expanded vision. Vision quest. You've been on a quest and you've reached a destination, a realization of who you are, really, beyond the personality, beyond the body, who you really are. You've just experienced this gift. And now we move into this place of release, of letting go, knowing that this vision is free for extra color and vibrancy, free to expand and evolve along with your evolving consciousness, that nothing is fixed or static, that your vision, your dream is now in right relationship with your heart, with your mind, with your body, and it is an active energy that you walk with. It walks beside you, it walks within you, you walk within it. It is this living, breathing, becoming thing that you're co-creating with the field, with God, with the quantum. So you let it go. You release it with deep gratitude and a full heart. Let's let go and come back to this moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes and be here with me now. And I'd love if you can and you'd like to drop a comment. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can write a comment. And for those of you that are joining me in the Zoom room, and I trust that you all will be able to dive in a little deeper for about 30 minutes or less. We'll see how long we want to create together. So, do you have a full sense of how it feels to be in that creative energy that's right here within you? It's not anywhere that you have to go. It's a matter of you being centered in yourself, you being completely in tune with who you are and how you want to be. It's you developing the agency to simply be the you came here to be, because that's all of us. We all came here to be our highest self, our most soulful, authentic self. And we're not taught this at school. They do a good job at kind of planting those seeds about finding yourself and following your dreams and goals. But there's this deeper sense of becoming a conscious creator, living by design. You actually call upon the wisdom that you hold within yourself, the intellect and the greater mind. the local heart and the greater power of love in the universe. And this sense of physicality, but really it's a sense of we're all connected. We're all connected because we're all one. There's only one thing happening, and it's this thing called life. It's this thing that we're all engaged in, that we're here for a particular amount of time, expressing ourselves as Ali or as Katrina or as Ashley or as Diana or as Michael. We're all here expressing ourselves as this person, this personality, but we're so much more than that. And when we realize that we have endless reservoirs of potentiality and possibilities for us to dig into, to sink our roots into, to stir that dream cauldron of potentials and possibilities, and just allow ourselves to be vehicles to express the joy, the love, the peace, the creativity, and the beauty that our souls know is possible. It's here for you, it's here for me, it's here for all of us. And as we wake up as individuals to realize our power, we then energetically give permission to others to do the same. Because when others see you doing you, when others get a sense of your energy and your frequency that's so you and so authentic, they will naturally, energetically, consciously or subconsciously, that will be transmitted, activated within them. So be you. You've experienced this activation within yourself to really take agency, to really go forward and make 2026 the very best year yet. So I'm going to jump off and I'm going to see you over in the Zoom room. I love you. I appreciate you. And have a great 2026. If I don't see you in the Zoom, I hope you've enjoyed this. Mwah. Peace and blessings. Thank you, New Thought Media Network. Thank you, thesatyacenter. Thank you, Michael. And I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.
Free my mind, open my heart with the whispers of truth. To live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge.